I'm jumping in on a Winners League draft. Coming up next on Beat the Odds, don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to dive right into a Winners League draft that's going to start in just a little under 2 minutes' time. If you like this type of content, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever we drop an episode. So we're diving into a Winners League draft, and to get into one of these, of course, you need to have won a prior league, so from the past season, which I did. So we are in on this one here. We've loaded into the draft, and we are going to be picking 7th. Now, if you're interested in some strategy, I did have a video that I put out here a couple of weeks ago with another draft that we did in detail. I highly recommend you go and check that out. We are going to be picking 7th, which actually isn't too bad. I think almost any spot is okay this year, with the exception of maybe the 3rd or 4th spots. So in the 7th spot, I'm hoping to pick up one of the top guys and still be able to pick up a quality guy on the turn. But we're going to see how this kind of goes here in just moments. We are 25 seconds away from the start of this draft. So wish me luck. Here we go. Now, one thing that I do like to do, of course, is I like to queue up some of my players that I'm going to be targeting here in the draft. I don't have time to do it right now, but we will be doing that here as the draft goes on. This first part of the draft, the first 5 rounds or so, I like to call this my early draft. Usually, I'm just concerned on picking up the best players that I can get my hands on. Of course, Jokic is first off the board. That's been basically what's been happening every single draft. But we'll see kind of what happens now. This is where it gets interesting. If you guys have been drafting here, I'd love to hear how it's been going here for you. Make sure to leave a comment down below with how your drafts have been going so far. If you feel comfortable with it, if you were hoping that you were going to get somebody and you might have missed out, all that kind of stuff here. I'd be interested to see kind of where you guys are at here with your drafts this year. It is my turn, and I have Tatum available to me, and I also have Halliburton available to me. And that's kind of tricky. I think I'm leaning towards Halliburton. I like him as a trustworthy point guard that can also play shooting guard here as well. And he could potentially lead the league in assists this year. So I'm going to go ahead and draft Tyrese Halliburton. He is going to be my first pick in this Winners League draft. Now, my strategy is to try and pick a all-around team, some team that's going to be strong in most categories to give you the best chance of winning, you know, any given category over the course of a week. So I'll typically stray away from players that are elite in one category and will hurt you in a few others, in favor of those who can pretty much kind of chip in everywhere. All right. My turn here, and as I look out here, I'm actually a little torn. I can choose between, I'm not going to choose Jaren Jackson Jr. I think it's reaching a little bit for him, although I have a feeling he's going to have a good start to the season with Ja out for the first 25 games. But But I'd like to pick up somebody that's going to help me out in the playoffs. And for me, it's between Donovan Mitchell and Mikal Bridges. And I'm leaning towards Mitchell. I think that's the way I'm going to go. We are going to pick up Donovan Mitchell with our second pick of this draft. Now, as I wait for my turn to come back up here, I'll start to show you some of the guys that I'm targeting here. Scotty Barnes is high on my list of players that I'd like to get on the team. Kind of fits the profile as an all-around type guy. And he's likely going to be getting a lot more usage now with Fred Van Vliet playing for, or being shipped out to Houston. Another guy that I'm kind of high on, I like Josh Giddey. Again, another all-around player. It's going to hurt you in his percentages here, but he's going to chip in with rebounds and assists, which is key for somebody who can play 3 positions in this game. Devin Vassell is a good one to kind of target. He could go off here as a nice complementary piece with Wemby. Cam Johnson, there's not a whole lot of offensive players in Brooklyn, so he could have a big year. Same with Tyus Jones. Wembanyama, 21st. Wow. Scoot Henderson now has the reins in Portland, so if he falls to me here, I will make a run at him. I like Jabari Smith Jr. as a rebound candidate in his free throw or his field goal percentage, and he can basically, he's kind of he's not going to be as impactful, of course, as a Jaren Jackson Jr., but he could very well exhibit a lot of those same type of traits and possibly be a better rebounder or two this year. Dennis Schroeder is likely going to get starters minutes in Toronto. You always like getting guys that are going to be playing. And Fred VanVleet's still out there. If I didn't pick up 2 point guards to start, I would have picked up Fred here, but I think I'm going to go with his ex-teammate Pascal Siakam. That's going to be my pick because I do need a forward. Okay. A bit of a pickle here. I think I'm going to go with Kristaps Porzingis. Although between Porzingis and Chet Holmgren, this one's tough. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I go OG Anunoby. Yeah, there's a couple of really interesting pickups right here. Brandon Ingram's another one. Oh, maybe who we do Brandon Ingram? That gives me a solid small forward here. My turn is next, and Scotty Barnes is still out there, hoping that Kobe for MVP doesn't pick him up because he is one person that I am certainly targeting. And he's available. And he is on the squad. All right, it's our turn again here, and I think we are going to grab someone that I'm hoping is going to have a bit of a bounce back season here this year. We're going for Rudy Gobert. I need somebody who can rebound, and I certainly need somebody who can block some shots, and he is going to be my guy. Now that the first 6 picks are out of the way here, we get into the middle part of the draft. I've got a pretty good idea of where my team is so far. Now it's just really to make sure that I've got my positions covered. So I'm going to need to take a look at maybe picking up another quality center. Or sorry, yeah, center. I'm going to take a look at picking up a quality center. And then possibly another point guard for my next couple of picks. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up Tyler Hero. All right, with my next pick, I think I'm going to pick up Mark Williams. I like how he's going to profile this year as the main center for Charlotte. Now we're approaching kind of the back end of the drafts. Our next 5 picks or so are going to be based on trying to fill in some stats that I might be weak on. And looking at the team, it's not bad. I don't really have much of a pure point guard outside of Halliburton, so maybe I'll go into looking for some assists. But all in all, this is shaping up to be a pretty solid team. All right, my next pickup is going to be Jabari Smith Jr. I don't know how many people remember how terrible he was at the start of the season and how actually fantasy useful he was in the second half. I'm banking on his second half being what we see going forward. So we're going to go ahead and draft him. He's going to slide right in to my open forward spot. Take care of some block needs there as well for the team. All right, so our turn is next here, and D'Angelo Russell is still sitting out there. I think that is going to be perfect for our squad to fill out the needs to get some more assists. So we're going to go ahead and draft him. Assist and 3-point shooting. I like that. D'Angelo Russell joining the team. All right. Not a whole lot left here to pick, so we're going to go ahead and pick up PJ Washington. That leaves us with one more spot to fill. All right, and with the last pick here, hoping he actually gets the starting job in Chicago, we're going to go ahead with Javon Carter. All right, and that's going to do it here. We're going to take a quick look at the squad here. Oh, it's listed as my team. It's really, I forgot to put my logo in there in time for the start of the break. So now it's time to take a look at how well we did. I'm on the page here for the results and the projected stats. And what I typically like to do is look at last year's stats and kind of get a feel for how the team is going to shape up here. One thing that I'm looking for is, again, we want to be competitive in as many categories as possible. So to keep, solid shooting percentages, solid free throw percentages, where we're not too bad there. Or pure centers, of course, will draw it down there. But usually I picked up a guy like Siakam, who's 6.7 free throws at 77%. Not great, but not terrible. Brandon Ingram, 88% for 6 free throws. He's going to certainly help. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who can drain 2 threes per game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys who can shoot 20 points per game. Rebounding, we might be a little light, but I think we'll still be okay because there's a bunch of guys that can rebound 5 a game. in there. Assists, there's a bunch of guys that will be able to dish out some assists. Steals, we're doing okay. Got a few guys with steals. Blocks, we're okay. We're pretty good across the board. This is a really, really good all-around team here. I'm pretty happy with that. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Leave a comment, of course, down below with how you feel I drafted in this Winners League. I'd be interested to hear your feedback on that. But that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to sign off for now, but we're going to catch you guys on our next episode.